Hello and welcome. This is the Obligatory podcast. This is Myke Hurley.
And I'm Kermit.
And we're glad to be back with you. Kerm, big
up?
week. Big week ahead, man.
Oh, yeah?
Big week, yeah.
Why is that?
Tomorrow night, I will be filling in as host at the Orlando Improv, hosting the open mic out there in the Fat Fish Blue stage. Our good friend Carmen Vallone is on the road, so I'll be taking that over. Going to be a good show. Already got a great lineup on board. Free show, of course.
Lies.
No. We actually have like 22 comics
Yeah,
on the bump list.
that's why I said lies.
Here's the thing about open mics. You get what you get.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
a free
that's
show. You get some guys just starting out for the first time, and you also get some nationally touring acts who stop by to do some actual, work out some new bits.
Yep.
On the main stage, it's going to be Big Tim Murphy, and he's got a good lineup in that main stage room. I think he's got good friends Marcus Crespo, Ross Paget on that show. And that's a benefit show, I believe, for the, Osceola County firefighters. So tickets are $10.
We got you, baby.
We got you, baby. Yeah, Big Tim, of course, from Poking the Bear podcast. Our good friends over there, Ryan Holmes and Charlie Bowie, part of the network. So either way, Wednesday night at the Orlando Improv is going to be a good time. And then this Thursday night, I'm actually part of the Comics for Parkland live at the Abbey. It's a charity show where all proceeds from the show will benefit the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas Victims Fund and the March for Our Lives movement. Mitch Silver put that all together. It's a lineup of about 15, 16 really strong comics. Devin Seabold is going to be closing it out, and once again, is for a good cause. So, here's the thing I feel about charity shows. Like, I've done a lot of them.
Okay.
And the thing I've really learned over the years, and I believe it was a buddy of mine, L.A. Hardy, who told me this. He's like, Myke, when you do charity shows, you really have to personally enjoy the charity you're doing it for. That's the only way you're going to be happy, because a lot of charity shows, you'll show up doing them outside. No one's around listening, or they didn't know a comedy show was going to start. There's wind. There's no sound system. You're talking to one of those little karaoke machines type things. So you really have to not enjoy, but be behind the reason that you're raising the money. That's the only thing that gives you work.
I mean, that's how it kind of works.
No, it's not, though, man. You'd be surprised how many times I get hit up, and not just me, a lot of comics. You'll get this email, and it always comes out, hey, we saw you at X venue, and we really enjoyed your show. My name is so-and-so. I run a charity that raises $13 million a year for blah, 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 blah. We would love for you to be our key act or main act for a dinner charity benefit show we're doing on April blah 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 in Tampa, Florida, and we're selling tickets for $120 a plate, and all proceeds go to blah 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 blah. And you write back, yeah, that sounds like a great thing. What's your budget? Oh, well, this is a charity show. I'm like, yeah, but you just told me you make $13 million
you're not
a year.
getting any of that.
And yeah, well, that's great, but here's the thing: you don't think the venue got money for renting the venue for it? You don't think the guy doing the busing and the caterers and everything else, everybody else on that thing is getting paid, and they want you to donate your time and be the main entertainment for the night, and you're not going to see $1 of it, and they don't even offer you like, hey, we know you're coming a long way, here's gas money, and then they get all upset when you say no.
Well, it's for a good cause, you Grinch.
It depends what the cause is, man.
Well, I mean, clearly the one you're about to do Thursdays is a good cause.
And that's why I'm doing it.
All right.
And
so
that's why I'm doing it.
What charity is not a good charity?
Dude, if you did every charity that someone sent you an email for.
I mean, I've done a lot.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I've seen your act. You're not worth anything. I mean, you should be paying them for the stage time, man.
That hurt.
It does, doesn't it? That's what they say about the truth. It hurts.
Hey, we raised a lot of money for Puerto Rico that they haven't seen. So,
Yeah, no, we've always done, especially the Orlando community is really good about doing charity events as much as possible, and especially not just on the bigger scale things, like of course when Pulse happened, we did stuff at the Improv and everything else, but also whenever something little on our community happens, I'm really always impressed with the way, or comics are assholes, let's face it.
Not all of us.
Yeah, all of us. All of
I
us.
like to think I'm not.
You kind of got to be an asshole to have the ego of, oh, there's a room full of people, give me the microphone and let me say what I want to say.
Is that considered an asshole mentality?
A little bit.
I don't feel like I'm an asshole.
I mean, who are you?
I asked myself that question.
I mean, who are you? I didn't
daily.
think you were an asshole until we started doing this podcast, and now I've heard about your Best Buy days and how you broke some kids' pottery in art class
We
and
just
bullied
scratched
them.
the surface.
So you admit it. See how quick
But
you
like,
flip flopped?
I'm not like, I don't know. I guess my view of being an asshole
Mm-hmm.
is not.
You have different standards
Yeah.
for what makes an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, you were at other bar last night telling me how you were about to knock some guy out.
Oh man, I love that power a little bit. It's so good to tell people no.
Yeah.
You're not going on tonight. But
Yeah.
nothing.
How's that been going? You've been filling in as the I guess coordinator.
I'm
the
just
other bar.
I'm just a bookie.
You're just a
I'm just a bookie.
You're running the list
I'm just running the list
Okay.
and telling people no.
until Ken comes home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised Ken wants me to do it full time because it takes the pressure of having to deal with comics and they're crying. But that's all it is.
Yeah, but that's what Ken's water bottle is filled with. Comics tears.
Oh
that's,
my gosh, man.
That's the only thing he puts in his
So
crown.
much
He's like, give me
complaining.
a crown apple and comics tears on the rocks, please. That's
I did that the whole week or the 2 times I ran it.
Yeah.
I was drinking Crown from a glass. I'm
Just-
Carmella, baby. I'll do what I want.
yeah.
So, but no, it's easy. I just controlling the list and then I pass it to the host.
You see
I
where
mean, you saw what we did
Yeah.
last night.
you see where he's over in Paris and he told some restaurant that he was a famous
Genius.
comedian from.
I do the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, you told people you were Preacher Lawson?
He's a lot taller in person.
Ken's like breaking out his 42-year-old ass doing jump kicks.
Jump
Yeah.
kick.
Nice.
Where's your abs? Right
So
here, baby.
yeah, that's it for me this week, man. Keeping it pretty low key. I got the hosting the open mic on Wednesday and then the show on Thursday at the Abbey. Get your tickets. What you got? Anything this week?
No, I don't got anything this week. I got a DJ.
You got a
So,
DJ? Where
yeah.
are you DJing at? What you got?
Kids party.
Kids party? How
I got-
old? How old?
I think he's turning 7.
Yeah. Are you at like Chuck E. Cheese spinning it?
No.
Breaking it on the
Are you saying like I'm
twos
wearing a
and
Chuck E.
fours,
Cheese
the
shirt?
ones
But
and
no.
twos?
No,
Yeah.
it's at their house, I think. And
Yeah.
I just gotta play like dirty booty music and get paid and leave. What? That's what kids like.
Do you have the Kids Bop tracks where they
It's
take
kids-
like
Pop that lollipop, pop.
it's a little 8-year-old girl singing "My Humps, My Lovely
my-
Lady
Hey,
Lumps,
it's
My
the Kids
Humps,
Bumps.
My Humps." Yeah,
No, it's easy money.
cool.
I'm doing that.
So what'd you have this past week, man?
This past week, Saturday, I promoted one of my students to black belt and then the other students to brown belt level.
Oh,
so
wow.
that was a big accomplishment out of them.
Yeah, what
And,
goes through that? Like, I've only been to your class once when you took the boys
The
in.
black belt test starts at like 8 in the morning, and before they have to like actually go through the curriculum,
Mhm.
they have to run 3 miles. Then after the 3 miles, 100 jumping jacks, 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 200 roundhouse kicks each leg,
Mm.
and then they get a break, and then they get dressed into the uniform and then start the test.
That's pretty hardcore, man.
Yeah, well, I'm feeling it.
Yeah.
'Cause
Oh, did you do it with them?
I thought I was like, oh, I could do. I didn't do the jumping jacks and everything.
Yeah.
I did.
Do
the,
as I say, not as I do
Yeah.
or can do.
I did the 3 miles,
Mhm.
and I went with the girl.
Which
that
you're
was,
short, so that's like 6 miles.
it was awful.
you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the girl that I stay company with
Mm-hmm.
running it, she's cross country runner.
Yeah.
My legs are on fire because I couldn't keep up, but I try to keep up with her. And she's like, I was like, is this your normal pace? She's like, no. I'm like, yeah, just stay at this pace. Just stay at this pace.
She was just running alongside you, making sure you didn't pass
Yeah,
out. She's like,
man.
don't die, Sensei. I need you for the promotion.
I felt like I accomplished something, but I'm hurting.
Not really.
Yeah, everything's sore
Yeah.
and it sucks. But,
Did she pass her test?
but she passed. Everyone did real well.
Nice. Do you have anyone not pass?
It's happened once. Realistically, the only way you don't pass these if you quit.
Yeah.
It's really a mental toughness kind of
Mhm.
test because it's not like they haven't done none of this stuff. They're
Right.
doing this stuff at a level of
It's just
people watching.
the pressure's on them now.
Yeah, and
Sure.
they get their belts, big ceremony, it's accomplishment.
Nice.
And then I have a new teacher, so I can free time.
That-
Go teach.
Yep. I was I think we've talked about it before. When I was in karate, that was it. You work your ass off. You
Good
get all the way up
job.
to brown belt, and then they're like, okay, part of your training is to go take the new kids and the white belts and go show them a horse dance for 2 hours. But when am I going to learn to grab the patience? Patience.
Now, let me finish my movie on Hulu.
Yeah. I know you're texting me sometimes about the podcast, like, hey man, I got blah blah blah. I'm like, aren't you supposed to be teaching right now?
Well, I don't teach all day. I only do like hour classes.
Yeah, that's
so there's
true.
a huge downtime.
Mhm.
And then that was Saturday.
Nice.
And then Sunday I went to EUROPA CON.
Is that like a pizza shop?
They wish they ate pizza. It's a fitness convention.
Ew.
It's a bunch of.
So Saturday you exhausted yourself and proved how out of shape you were to yourself,
And then I walked around with my chest out.
and then you walked around with your chest out with huge people on.
With
so-
these monster women and men all
and
buffed
you
out.
have a thing where you refuse to pay to get into
You
conventions.
damn right I didn't
right?
pay.
So how did you manage that?
A gift of gab, baby.
You know, from someone who speaks about 10% of the time on the podcast, I'd like to hear about your gift of gab.
All I did was I lied, number one. I'm a good liar
Yeah.
when I want something.
But you're not an asshole.
No, that's not an asshole.
Lying isn't an asshole thing.
I just said, hey, I left my badge at the stand.
And they don't have a list of names.
No, they're idiots. And because I just said, I'm with Performance XL. And they're like, I was like, yeah, I just left my badge. You need to get back in there. And they gave me a vendor's badge. Boom. Right
Nice.
in. The girl
the-
paid though. She did. I didn't get her a badge. She paid. And yeah, so it's always, I'm going to do it for MegaCon too. You hear that? Coming in without pay.
Wow. Actually, I think the Geeks of Comedy are in negotiations right now. We've been there for the past 6 years, and I think we might be getting it. We usually do 2 shows, like a show Friday and a show Saturday. I think we might be adding a show this year, so I think we might get to do 2 nights of stand-up and a roast.
Well,
Not sure
perfect.
yet.
Then
Not
I can
sure
just use as my get in. I'm with the Geeks of Comedy, and I just left my
No,
badge.
we're not going to give you a badge. We
I
wanna
don't
see
need
how
your
well you
stinking
do.
badges.
Badges? We don't
Badges,
need no
no.
stinking badges. Wow. You just made the whole Latino culture very proud. You went
going-
all bandito on
On all
us.
I'm getting right in. Watch. You see me. You'll see.
It'll
You'll
be a
see.
good time.
But yeah, no, I went to the fitness convention and watch. It's funny because like everyone's bodies are like 20-year-olds, like all tight and strong, and then their face is like, it's like oh no, what happened up there? It's just like all stretched out, and they put that extra tan on them. Have you seen that? They're like white people that look black.
Oh.
Like that's how much tanning they put on.
That's
that way their
ridiculous.
muscles pop out, I guess. And
Yeah, at the gym I have a membership to, but never go to. They actually,
know.
yeah. Well, it's funny because I haven't been to that gym in like a year now, but I still pay the $20 a month, and I still got my little pass on my keychain, and I'm going through this move situation right now. I'm like, oh man, no, if I move, I'm gonna be, the kids will have to go to a different school, and I'll have to not go to a different gym. I'm comfortable with the gym I don't go to now. I don't want to learn a whole nother gym not to go to.
just giving money out to a gym you don't attend.
It's one of those things, some people give money to their church. I just give it to the gym.
Which is just a waste.
Yeah, but they think they're going to get into heaven. I think I'm going to get to abs. I mean, we're both believing in something that doesn't exist,
I believe in you, Mike. You can lose weight.
You are the worst personal trainer ever, because you're the same one when I show up at other bar. You're like, you want to grab some gringos? I'm like, yes, I want to grab some gringos.
Yeah, and I was supposed to be running the open mic, and I left.
Yeah,
And,
yeah. It was well in control. You're good to go. So yeah, this past Wednesday, I was at Duncan J's room, open mics out in Melbourne, doing the spotlight set, which basically means you go last after like a showcase.
That's all that means.
But I'll tell you, man, I love Orlando, and I love that we have so many mics. But when you get out to like Melbourne and Brevard, there's really not a lot going on. So when they do something like every Wednesday night, I haven't been out there when there's been less than 80 or 90 people in that audience.
Man, really open mics?
Like, yeah, you go out
I
there.
gotta
and
go back out.
you
I've only been there once.
It's great, man. They just redid the whole place. They put in a bigger stage. We did the Roast to Santa out there this past year, and yeah, it's for a Wednesday night show, just to have like a real audience. It's amazing, dude. So I had a great time out there. It was a good lineup of comics.
What's the drive?
Melbourne, it's like 55,
Oh, that's not bad.
56 miles. It's not bad.
Man, I complain more about the drive to any venue. Than,
Yeah, well, you live out here.
I know that's what it's just like. I was like,
So
how
it's like
far
a
is it?
drive for you just to get to civilization and
it's
then
just-
like a longer drive.
I don't
But-
know, man. I just complain, but then when I get to the venue, I'm happy.
Yeah, and
So-
you know, it's worth it, man. I'd rather do that drive for be out there 80 people than, you know.
That's on a Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
I gotta hit up
You should
Duncan.
go check it out. He'd probably love to have you out there. Do the
Yeah.
spotlight set.
He
close it out.
he offers, and I just like, oh, okay, and I never do it.
Yeah, do it, man, if you get the chance. And then Saturday, I was at one of my favorite rooms in Florida. This place, when I started doing, I think the first time I went there was back in 2006 or 7. I did a guest spot, and it's Gypsy Comedy Club, also known as Jackie Knight's Comedy Club, up in St. Augustine, Florida. Cool little room. Have you been to St. Augustine before?
I mean, not for comedy.
It's the oldest I want to get this right. The oldest always populated city in the U.S. I mean, you got like other settlements and cities that were started, but then oldest inhabited, like all the time. There's been people there, and so they got a huge fort out there that's been ran by the British, the Americans, the Spanish, and it's just it took the kids out there, did the comedy show. And the next day we just poked around, and they got all these historical sites and landmarks. The Fountain of Youth is out in St. Augustine.
There's no Fountain of Youth in St. Augustine.
Yeah.
No, I mean the people. There's nothing young out there.
Dude, what are you talking about? Flagler College is like in the heart of St. Augustine.
Well, the heart of St. Augustine is a bunch of old people.
No, dude.
Yes.
I think you'd be surprised if you went up there. It's a lot. It's a young town, man.
All right.
I mean, the town is old, but the kids who live there, like I was driving back from the club on Saturday night, and every one of those historical bars just looked like a, college town club. And it's funny because my 8-year-old heard about the Fountain of Youth. He's like, so wait a minute, they have what? And I'm like, well, it's the Fountain of Youth. They thought that you could drink this water and live forever. He's like, can we go get some water? And I'm like trying to explain to him. I'm like, well, buddy, it doesn't really work. And he's like, I hear you, Dad. Wink, wink.
Yeah.
But he's still, and I was going to take him by. The thing I hate about the Fountain of Youth is, like, I've been to it a couple of times, and you got to pay to go see it. And if they had just done it where you pay, you go on this nature trail, and there's the fountain, I'd be fine. But they tried to do, like, this cheap Disney recreation thing where, like, you go through, and they got these little mannequins that are supposed
that are
to
old.
Someone had put sunglasses on one of the Indians at one point and everything else. And it's this bad little, they tried to really touristy you up.
Right.
Where I think it would just been cooler to be able to just walk down a natural trail and bam, there you are.
But then everyone would be like, what would be the security around the fountain?
I don't know, man.
You know, if someone would be pissing in it
They
or spitting in it.
They do a lot of stuff. First of all, a lot of the buildings like are probably obviously some of those. They have the oldest schoolhouse in the country there. Like you can see the schoolhouse, and they got like all the mannequins holding up the little paddles, learning their alphabet and everything like that,
Okay.
and showing you where they would spank kids. And
Yeah.
there's the
This
bell.
is where we used to smack kids.
Pretty
on those
much,
Good
pretty
days.
much. But you know what I love about St. Augustine the most? They have these ghost tours. Have you ever been on the ghost tours?
I heard about them.
So what they do is late at night, they have a guy dress up. Have we talked about this before?
Why do I feel like we talked about this?
Well, here we go again because I was just there.
I feel like you talked about this,
Maybe we did it.
and then
off.
you talked about how like somebody will come around
yeah,
while the
yeah.
guy's talking, and then he'll shut up and he
Yep.
wouldn't finish the story.
Yeah, like they got these guys that dress up like in period costumes
Yeah.
and hold a little lantern. You pay your $20 to go on a tour, and they take you around some of the cemeteries and some of the historical landmarks, and like the castle and the Matanza River, or whatever. And they're like telling you stories and legends and everything else. And then people who hadn't paid to be in the group walk up. And the guy just gets all like quiet, like I'm not going to talk now that they're here. And like you're sitting there with your sticker showing you paid. And you're like, come on, dude, just keep talking. I got to be somewhere. But the best part is like they'll take you down these city roads and they'll bring you up to like these old houses and like, and here at this house in 1832, the widow found out that her husband had died at sea year before, and she finally couldn't take it, and she hung herself from the upper rafter. And like the thing is, there's people who live in these houses now still. So someone will lean out the window and like, hey, Could you shut the fuck up about the dead woman in the attic? I got 2 kids. They're trying to sleep. Every night you come by screaming about the dead kids, and I'm up for another hour telling them there's no ghost, guys. Everything's fine. Could you shut the hell up? And you feel horrible, but at the same time, you're like,
I like how he'd probably be doing the story, and then someone's car alarm goes off.
it is just like that, man. Like you're all in depth, and then someone's like, boop, boop. So, but it's cool. It's like you get to see a little bit of history, and then we went over to the fort there, and you pay to go in, and you can actually see like the insides, and they have like you can go up on top where what is it what's it called on a castle, the Bastilles or
the balcony.
Sure. And they have all the cannons up there, and they actually do a recreation where they got these older guys who come out. I guess this is their thing. They come out dressed as like British soldiers, load a cannon, and fire it off over the river. So the boys enjoyed that, and then we bought some pirate swords, which I'm pretty sure weren't period correct, and they just ran around the castle fighting each other.
So that was your past weekend.
So that was Saturday, man. Yeah, that was a good time. So
I got a question for you.
Sure.
When you started doing comedy, how long did you like? Did you do a lot of hosting gigs?
Yeah. Some of my first gigs in front of actual comedy club audience were like free hosting gigs.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just feel like I've been in a rut with comedy. Like I've been hosting, and then I have a solid 10, 15.
Yeah.
And I know I'm supposed to be like, people are like, oh man, you've been doing it for how many years? And then I'm like, oh, I've been doing it for like 5, maybe 6. And like, you're not featuring yet? And I'm like, no. And I really don't have 30 minutes. Like, I realized that. Like, I was like, oh my God, I don't have 30 minutes.
Yeah, you should get to work on that.
But like, how did you, like, I'm like curious. Like, did you always try to do new stuff as you're hosting? Or do you always just stay in that same old bit? And then you kind of just build from there?
I think I started out in a different town where there wasn't much comedy. So me and a buddy of mine, Casey Peruski, opened up some like open mics and a couple of like what we called showcase rooms. And because it was just Casey and I, we didn't have a lot of local comedians. It was like trying to get people to start doing comedy so we wouldn't be the only ones. But we still prepared ourselves every week to be like, we might be the only people going up. So in Port St. Lucie, it was like you were getting 20, 30 people out at a little coffee shop, but it was just me and Casey doing comedy. So basically you were doing every joke. You had to write material. And then there was only one room in town, and that was a Groucho's comedy club where he didn't pay his hosts anything, but you were getting to perform in front of a quote-unquote comedy audience. So I think you have it a little bit differently here because you live in a town and you've come up in a town where like you're hosting at the Improv, man.
Yeah, I mean,
you know, it's kind of like you're hosting at the Improv. You're getting paid better to host at the Improv than what some of the gigs I did paid featuring.
Right.
You know, and if I could look back now, like I look at my first feature sets and stuff like that, and I think everybody does. They look back and they go, man, I wish I had spent more time before I took that step and started featuring. But yeah, I was doing bar shows and everything, featuring and headlining. And there's a big difference between being a barroom comedian and doing the Improv as a feature or headline.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know. I feel like I gotta push that envelope this year.
Yeah, you definitely should.
I think, but I don't feel like I'm.
I've offered you like at least
I know
3
you have,
feature gigs, and you always turn them down.
I turn them down because I know my level of like I can't hold someone's attention for 30 minutes. Like I got a good 15, and then I'm done. I'm like, all right, I'm out.
You also get to a level where the only way you learn how to do a feature set is by doing the time, you know.
Right.
And I've had the opportunity to take a couple of local guys on with me. Kevin White was one of my first features for Bonkers, and now he's headlining.
Right.
You know, and then Charlie Bowie has been featuring for me for quite some time, and
keep going.
What's wrong? It looks like you're ready to dip out on me.
No, not dipping. I'm gonna go yell at that dog, man.
You're gonna yell at the dog?
I can't wait to get rid of this dog. This dog is gone Friday, people. It's going back.
Well, go yell at the dog. We'll listen to you.
No.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey! Stop! Can't wait to send you out of here.
He's so abusive to that dog.
I'm not abusive to the dog. I had to yell. It's driving me nuts. Sorry.
No.
Look, professional.
Yeah.
No, that dog has lived in this house long enough. It's going to California Friday. We fostered that dog long enough. It sucked my time, my sleep, my money. I bought food for dog. We bought shots. Damn dog's getting groomed tomorrow. Whole 9. Done.
Do you think
Done.
life's going to be better once the dog's gone?
It's gonna be a lot quiet.
Are you going to miss it
No.
at all?
No.
Really?
Yeah, I promise you.
Not a bit.
Not a bit.
I believe you.
No, I can't believe me. I'm done with that dog.
So, yeah, man. It's like I told Kevin and Charlie when they came on the road featuring for me. I was like, look, I don't expect you to go out there and do 30 minutes tonight and kill. What I want you to do is go up and do like your best 18. Just don't even worry. Yeah, you're supposed to do 25. Some rooms are like, oh, features only do 20. Some rooms they want them to do 30. But I'm like, you go out, do your best 18. I don't want you digging up material, hoping to fill time. I don't want you stretching and doing crowd work. And the thing you'll find is they go out and they do their best 18. They have fun. They learn how to do a solid set. And then what happens is 6 months later, you're like, dude, you did 35 tonight. Dude, you did 38 tonight.
Yeah.
Hey, could you rein it in? But the only way you're going to learn to do a 30-minute set is by doing a 30-minute set. And you're not going to get that from going out and doing a 10-minute set. And some people are like, even open micers are like, oh, I know I got, 30 minutes because I do 6 different 5-minute sets.
Yeah.
And the truth is, you don't. You learn there's material that doesn't work together. Like if you're not a one-liner comic where you're just throwing a bit, and you're actually a comedian who tells stories and stuff like that, you'll find that some material doesn't naturally work or segue or lead in. And that's why you have different sets and stuff like that. So I would tell you, yeah, man, you got to get out there and you got to do the time. Otherwise, you can be the best host in the world.
That's right. That's all I want. No, I do. I need to push
Really?
the envelope.
Yeah.
No, I need to
Get out there. And, next time someone offers you a feature spot,
Well-
that was the other thing. Like, I got plenty of time. There's the 45 I like doing. There's the hour I like doing. But I've never been worried about someone I've asked to feature going short. And I'm like, you know what? We're still going to cover the time. You're still going to get a 90-minute show. Don't worry about
Right.
it. So.
I think I'm always worried about going overtime too.
So you just went from not having enough material
But
to
no,
worry
like
about
when
going
like at the improv, I'm always like looking for the light. Like
Yeah.
I'm like I'm doing the host, but then I'm like, oh, I didn't even finish my jokes.
Well,
I'll
how much
wrap
time do
this
they
up.
have you doing as a host over there?
I think the most I've ever done. Well, I've done 20, but that was a stretch.
Oh, there was that when Jay Moore wasn't there?
No, the Tommy Davidson.
Oh, okay.
When Tommy Davidson didn't show up.
You get so many gigs over there, I can't keep track.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, no, just they don't show up on time, and they're like doing a stretch motion, like keep going, like,
Yeah.
But I just read the menu, and it's always good.
Yep. So I've been talking to you about getting in shape and stuff like this. I got a buddy. I got a buddy who has lost 20 pounds in the past 2 weeks.
Got AIDS?
What?
What?
Huh? I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Keep going.
Yeah, he's on some diet where the first 2 weeks they have him eat only potatoes.
What?
Only
What
potatoes.
BS diet did he read that one?
BS diet that he lost 20 pounds. I think it's the diet that Kevin Smith is on ever since his heart attack and everything.
Eat him only potatoes.
He ate only potatoes for 2 weeks. Wake up, have a baked potato. During lunch, he had these little raw potatoes you would eat, and then during another potato. I guess after 2 weeks, you're allowed to eat vegetables and shit.
What did he watch the movie Mars? With
The Martian movie?
The Martian
it
movie.
was kind of like
and then
that, I guess. Dude,
he's like, I'm just gonna eat potatoes.
say what you want, man. 20 pounds? Like, if I lost 20 pounds, I'd be losing you. I'd lose like a you.
I want to see you do a potato diet.
Dude, I would be, like, I could do a potato diet. I mean, what's that? Like potato chips? French
You're
fries?
shaped like a potato right now.
F you.
I mean, you're halfway there with this diet. You're on the right track.
That's the problem with this world I live in, Kerm. I could offer someone the shirt off my back, and they'd laugh at my stretch marks.
You gonna do this potato diet though?
I
are you
don't know,
seriously
man.
thinking about it?
Here's the part I like about
I
it.
gave you a diet plan. You don't follow. You didn't.
No, you didn't. You
I
forwarded
did.
me. You forwarded me links to like a
No, I
1,000.
send you a diet
No,
plan.
you did not.
Oh my god! I'll
I'll
send it
have
to you
to-
again
oh,
tonight.
we'll have to do
and
that.
You will still ignore
Well, I gotta learn to cook.
it. Well, then there's another issue.
Yeah, I have so many issues.
There,
But I don't know. I think I'd be sick of a potato diet on
dude.
like, day
You don't
one.
have to eat. There's no. That sounds so.
But the thing I really enjoyed about his diet was he's like, it's a total health diet, but you don't even bother working out till you get your weight down to your target weight. I'm like, wait a minute. A diet that involves no working out? Tell me more.
Do potatoes even provide the nutrients that your body needs?
He said he hasn't felt better in a long time.
'Cause he's probably just like weak.
And he said after like 2 weeks that he was allowed to eat vegetables. And
He's a lot. He is eating a vegetable.
he
What are
had
you talking
like
about?
he had like corn, and he's like, it was like candy. I'm like, yeah, I guess after 2 weeks of just potatoes, anything would taste like amazing, you know.
I don't know about that. I'll look into that one. I don't know about that one.
He says he's doing it off a book called Eat to Live, which is apparently the book that
If you're homeless, what?
no, Penn Jillette from Penn and Teller?
Yeah.
I guess the same diet he's doing.
All right, I'll look into that, man. I
Alright,
never heard of
cool,
this one.
Cool.
It's
Yeah.
like that whole what was it, Atkins diet?
Where you just get rid of all carbs or something.
They're like, I'm just gonna eat meat, and then
Yeah.
and then I'll look at him like, what are you doing? I'm on the Atkins diet, and he eats like a pound of bacon.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work
Well,
like
what
that.
you do, you just don't eat, like, you order sandwiches and don't eat buns and stuff, right?
Yeah, like I'll throw the bun away.
Mm-hmm. Just wasting food.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I do a lot of like lettuce wraps and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I eat the same. I mean, I just
Eat smarter.
Yeah, I just eat smarter. That's
How many
all.
meals do you do a day?
I would love to eat like 4 to 5, but
But what do you
realistically,
actually
it goes 3.
do? Yeah.
Morning, afternoon.
What do
then
you
a
do
snack.
for like breakfast? Do you have a big breakfast, or do you just do a quick out the door type thing?
I do a quick out the door thing, but
Mm.
then after my workout, I know a lot of people do protein shakes,
Mm.
but I eat.
Yeah.
Like I'll eat, and then I'll go out throughout my day, and then lunch,
Mm-hmm.
and then like when we leave tonight, I'm gonna eat a late dinner.
Yeah.
But
Is there anything to that, like eating late, like you shouldn't do it?
you shouldn't do it. But I mean, you shouldn't be eating like a hamburger and stuff like that. Like my dinner tonight is lettuce wraps again.
No. Okay.
So I mean, it's just grilled chicken, lettuce wraps with beans. That's it. Done.
Yeah.
And yeah, and it just keeps my weight down.
Mm.
I don't feel crappy afterwards. And
You have a lot of
snacking.
success with your personal training stuff.
Yeah, I got a good hack. I have a lady right now. She lost 20 pounds with me, and she only been doing it for a month.
Wow, she could just eat potatoes,
She
save
coulda-
the training fees, and be done 20 pounds in 2 weeks.
She could have done that too.
Kermit is a great personal trainer, but if you want the quick approach, just hit me up at the obligatory podcast at gmail.com. And every day I'll just send you a message for $25 a day. I'll send you a message that says, eat your potatoes.
Is $25? It tells someone to eat a potato.
Hey, some of these people have the money. They just don't have the know-how. So I am now officially a personal trainer.
That potato diet sounds like someone that's like broke.
Yeah.
So they can't afford $25.
Well, if you're paying me $25, you don't need your money for any other food other than potatoes.
They can't even afford a potato.
That's part of the diet plan I'm putting out there, Kerm. If they give me their money, they can't buy fatty foods.
I don't know about your
I'm a
diet.
full service.
We ate gringos last night.
It was delicious.
we
So here's something that came up lately. I don't think my kids understand this. Back before like the internet and everything else, we would have game nights in my house.
game nights.
Game nights. Like, did you ever do game nights with your family?
Not with my family.
I've met your dad. He doesn't seem like a board game type
nah,
guy.
man, he's not a board game type guy. Man,
Yeah.
not at all. Maybe, I guess pool. We'll
Yeah.
play pool. He has a pool table. I mean, that's
That
his
was
game.
gambling. That
That's
was
pool table and dartboard.
Yeah. No, all the games in the bars. Yeah.
Yeah. That my dad's not a.
That reminds me. My mom used to work. My dad worked days, and my mom worked nights. She was a waitress and a bartender. And I remember one night, I must have been 7 or 8, and she had the night off. And she's like, you know what? Your dad and I want to take you guys out to eat. Where do you guys want to go? Can we go to the awesome restaurant? She's like, which one's that? I'm like, the one with the cheese sticks and the chicken fingers and all the video games. And my mom's like, where's that? And she looks at my dad, and my dad's like, oh, that's happy hour at the Hungry Tiger. Because she would go to work, and he would take us down the street to this bar. And in like up north, during happy hour, they put out like little food trays so that you can stick around and drink more. So they would let me and my older brother, kids, into the bar. we would raid the mozzarella sticks and chicken fingers, and all my dad's buddies would give us quarters to play the video games there just so we could leave my dad alone so he could drink. And that was how my mom found out how my dad babysat us.
Nice.
Yeah.
So she ratted him out.
You
ratted him out.
I accidentally ratted him out.
Nice.
But I never told her about the Thunderdome nights where he would just like grab a beer, sit in the armchair, tell me and my older brother, fight.
Wait, time out. What?
Yeah. When I must have been like 8, and my older brother was probably 9 and a half.
Okay.
And my dad we didn't have cable at the time, so my mom would go off to work. My dad would come, open a beer. My little brother was a baby; he'd be sleeping, and we'd be in the living room, and my dad would be like, "You guys just go ahead and wrestle."
And
like,
you guys would just go at it.
Yeah. That was it for my dad's entertainment.
Surprised you guys didn't even try to kill each other when you
We
got
did.
older. Oh, okay.
We did, but it really prepared me for real life because I've said it before. Like, I've lost most of the fights in my life, but I've never been hit harder than by my own brother. So, like, whenever I got in a fight in high school, I remember the first fight I got into, I was, like, scared and everything else, and then the kid landed a punch. I'm like, oh, that's it?
Because what you call it? You trained your body.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good to go.
Yep.
Yeah, you're like a professional fighter, man.
So, yeah, we did have game night in the Hurley household, and there were some games I was really good at. I was like good at Connect 4. Did you ever play Connect 4?
That's with the dropping
the checkers in?
Yeah.
Like, I used to kick my brother's ass all the time, and then we found
and then
out
he beats your ass.
No. Then we found out he was colorblind, and I was like, "Does this make
Is
my
that
Connect
real?
4?" Yeah. I'm like, "Does this make my Connect 4 victories null and void?" I'm still counting these as wins.
This whole time he's like, man, these great little checkers just keep. I don't get the game. Why am I losing? I don't get.
And then another game I like to play was Hungry Hippos.
Hungry Hippo was fun.
It was cool, and I actually got that game for my kids. And the thing with Hungry Hippos is rule number 1: don't play on a carpet. Because if you play on a carpet, you can kind of press the board down towards your side where the marbles roll towards your hippo. You know, so you play on a hardwood surface. Like, I learned that early on. My kids have not learned that yet. They just think Daddy's really good at Hungry Hippos.
I got a weird story about Hungry Hippos.
Did you try to feed marbles to hippos at a zoo?
No.
You seem like you'd be like,
worse.
this is what they eat.
You hit me in a flashback.
What we got? Oh, that's what I love about talking to you, because you have all those concussions and memory losses.
Yeah, like you hit
and every now and then we bring up a memory.
I can't remember. I don't think it was my cousin. Like, I think it was just like a kid that will hang out at the house, and they'd be like, "Oh, that's your cousin." I was like, "That's not my cousin, though." Right. I remember he did, and he stuck his penis inside the Hungry Hippo game, and I was like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "This is hilarious," and I just walked out, and I told my parents, and I think that was the last time we hung out. It was weird, man. Don't look at that. Look, I didn't do it. He did it.
So you were just playing Hungry
No,
Hippos?
I wasn't playing. He was in his room, like he was,
and it was just there on a shelf.
Like, yeah, he was over, and we're in the living room, and I guess my mom. I think this is in California, because we're in a military base. Mm-hmm. He was playing, and he thought it'd be funny to put his penis inside the Hungry Hippo's mouth. And he did it. Like, he held it up, and I was like, "What are you doing?" And he was like, hey. And then I told my mom, and then we called his mom, and he got kicked out. And
at no point, there had to be a whole process. He wasn't just walking around with his penis out.
No, he wasn't. Like, I left. I went and did something in the kitchen. Like, I went to my mom.
Uh-huh.
Then I came back.
And when you came back, his pants were down, and his penis was in the Hungry Hippo.
He took it out of his zipper.
Oh, okay.
It's like, I don't even know if his wiener was in it or not, but he was like he put it towards his. Don't give me the look. I didn't put it in the green hippo's mouth.
I can't even imagine the thought process going on both sides. Like, this is gonna be so funny when Kermit walks back in.
Because white people are weird, man.
Wait a minute.
That's why I don't hang out with a lot of white people.
How was this a white person? Went from it was your cousin to.
That's what I'm saying. It wasn't my cousin. It's like one of those things where he's like, "Oh, he's your cousin." I was like, "He's not. He's white." But I didn't see color back then. I'm not colorblind like your brother.
Yeah, you want to play Connect 4? Connect 4, $20 a game, motherfucker.
Yeah, I don't know. You hit a memory, and I was like, "Oh yeah." That was,
I'm glad we could bring that up for you. That's what this show is about. Just trying to, for those of you who don't listen to the show, which is most of you, Kermit has dealt with memory issues most
Yep.
of his life. He had a lot of concussions when he was younger. So every
A lot
now
of
and then on the
fights.
show, you're going to hear these breakthroughs, whether they're interesting to you or not. I'm just happy he got a little another memory back.
Memory got hit.
You know
Yeah,
what
that
it
was
is?
Nice.
This is like that Disney movie, Inside Out, that Pixar movie, where it's all the emotions,
Oh, yeah.
and they keep losing memories and deleting memories. And I feel like we got some of yours back today.
I wonder if I just
Made that up?
or yeah, like what like that was bothering me. Like, how did I know this?
Well, I really don't think if the government's implanting memories, that would be one they would put in there, you know? Unless it was some after dark lab tech who was like, I'm going to so fuck with this guy. Like, we're trying to train him to be like in the Manchurian candidate and attack when we want him to.
I did take one of those tests where they check your brain waves.
Do
I
you?
remember that.
Maybe
and I
it
couldn't
is.
sleep for a whole night.
Maybe.
And I was mad at my parents.
Oh.
Yeah, you
I
couldn't
hear
sleep.
the black cop.
You couldn't sleep the whole night, and then I had to go wake up, or I couldn't sleep. I had to go early in the morning, and they hooked me up, and they put a bunch of things on my head, and then I fell asleep.
Wow.
But I don't know what happened after that.
Do you think maybe it was a mutant testing ability?
If it is, I haven't had one power, and my powers suck right now. There's nothing going on. If it's getting to free, if it's getting to conventions for free, then yes, my superpower is pretty good. That's it.
Well, we'll keep an eye on you about that.
Great.
My parents' favorite family night game was a game called Trivia Pursuit.
Don't know that one.
Yeah?
Nope.
I think is it trivia or trivial?
Trivia.
It seems like it would be trivia, but it's about stuff that doesn't matter, so maybe it'd be trivial.
Trivial.
Trivia. I guess that should be a trivia question. Is it Trivia Pursuit or Trivial Pursuit?
So what, you're doing game nights recently now?
Oh, it's Trivial Pursuit. Trivial, not trivia, which makes it sound like. But here's the thing. My parents, they bought the set in 1981, like the edition that came out with 1981,
Okay.
and they never bought a new edition. So basically, every time we played,
Oh, it's like old trivia.
yeah, like you got to do it on two different levels. You got to be like, okay, they're like, okay, who holds the league record for most home runs? You're like, well, let's see, it's 1999, but this was written in 1981. You got to figure it all out. It's ridiculous, and that game will end family relationships quite simply.
What trivia?
Oh yeah, Trivia Pursuit, because especially like you play for these little pieces. Yeah, if it's like the game-winning piece.
Do you get angry at board games?
Oh, I get very.
You're one of those guys?
I get very competitive.
Ah, that's annoying.
Like like some people will be like, "Oh, that's close enough," you know, like
yeah, that's me.
really, like they'll have a question like, you know, which movie features Frodo throwing the ring in the blah blah blah.
Mission Impossible.
That's close enough.
See,
See,
Close
I play
enough.
with no, but someone will say, "Oh, Lord of the Rings." I'm like, "No, it's not. It's Lord of the Rings." There's like, fucking, you gotta name which one of the three. And it
Ah,
was.
you're that guy.
Oh, I'm the guy who wants the exact answer. Yeah, that's me. That guy.
So if we're having fun, but we're not like really getting the answers, you're
who
getting.
who plays for fun? What are you, and Nancy? What's wrong with you? You friggin' play for fun. If your dad could hear you right now, oh, did you have fun? Who gives a shit about fun? It's about bragging rights. It's about winning. It's about taking home the victory. Oh, as long as you did your best. You know who says that? Losers.
I am never inviting you to a game night here.
Oh, come on, be fun.
No, F that.
Come on.
Break my.
I'll
freaking
bring the
TV.
pretzels.
Yeah, no. Yeah, man, I can just imagine you. Because I seen you angry. You just mouth off. You start making fun of people. Well, you don't make fun of them. You demean them.
See, that's why I don't understand. Like, I sit back, I say nothing. And
You
then when
lie.
someone rolls around and starts saying something, I'll be like, oh, okay, we're going to do this. And I'll jump in. And they're like, oh, you went too far. I'm like, no, you started the battle.
I thought we were gonna see the evil Hurley come out last night, but you held back, and I got mad at you for it. I was like, unleash, and you held back. A comedian tried to make a joke towards Hurley about his height or his weight. I don't know.
Wait, yeah.
And then you hit him with a 1-2, and he backed off quick. Like, how do you make fun of somebody and then you go after him and then they apologize right after? I was like, what? Don't apologize. Go back in, see what happens. And
I don't know.
and then you held back, and I was like, you suck.
Why?
Because I wanted you just to go
Just to
in.
go over the. I'm really working on learning when enough is enough.
No,
Yeah.
you don't do that with me.
Like avoid rather than check rather than hurt rather than maim
You shit on
rather
me when
than
I'm
kill.
on stage.
Well, it makes you a better comic.
See, and I take it. And everyone's like, oh, and then you gotta like dig yourself out the hole. Like, hey, people, he can take it. Like,
When was that?
You said that at man, what was it? One of those stupid
We were at Other Bar one night.
No,
and
it
you
was
were on
at
stage.
Improv. You did it to me.
What?
Yeah, it was one of those shows where you put together and you were like running it from the back.
Uh-huh.
And you did something, and it was like, oh, and he's like, don't worry, people, he can get out of it. You said something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you do it all the time. Everyone else, good job. Kermit, way to go. First row sleeping. like, no, they're not. No, they're not. And now you have to get off stage like that. That's my outro. It just sucks, but it's funny. I can take it.
Can you?
Yeah.
Because you sound like you're whining a bit right now.
I see. This is what I don't want. I don't say this. I'm saying it now, but I will never say it on stage.
You know what the studio needs? A box of tissues. Somebody call Kermit a wham.
Most people get on Facebook and be like, man, F Myke early.
Really?
Oh,
now I got to Google F Myke early. See how many people are saying F Myke early. I feel like I've done my work. No, I think I'm one of those people that, if I'm not messing with you off stage or saying something, then I don't enjoy you. Like the only people I really insult are, the people I get along with.
How did I even get to the insult level? That's a good question there.
I don't know. I think you just
like you don't just insult somebody right off the bat.
No, I remember like we didn't become like fast friends. Like we were both on the scene and just kind of peripheral.
I was quiet.
Yeah, and I remember I think the first time you really stuck out to me was one day I was at Other Bar. I was hanging out with Charlie Bowie, and you came up. You're like, "Hey, you guys gonna grab Gringos later?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course we're gonna grab Gringos." And then like 30 minutes later, Charlie and I were like, "Oh, let's go grab some Gringos." And we come back, and you're like still at Other Bar, and you're like, "Hey, we gonna go get Gringos?" And we're like, "We just went." You're like, "Oh, really?" And you had like this sad, heartbroken. Like,
oh, okay. This story's horrible.
I'm like, oh my God, I didn't know he was waiting around for us to get. And then from then on, I was like, okay, well, I better ask this strange little kid if he wants to get Gringos.
I got pity.
Yeah, you got pity. You got pity.
That's a horrible story how we ended up like hanging out.
Well, don't worry. In like 2 weeks.
Wait, so how did I get to the level of you like just shitting on me?
In 2 weeks, you won't remember any of this.
True that. Well, I'm not gonna get hit in the head anytime soon.
You don't think so?
I don't want to.
That should keep it away.
Wait, so how did we get to the level of like hating each other? Not hating each other, but like you shitting on me.
I don't know. I think you made enough flyers.
Is that what it is? No, it has to be something. Was it the Ricky roast?
You did great at that Ricky roast.
Was it the Ricky roast?
Yeah,
and you were like, all right, this guy.
Yeah, you did really good.
He's a jerk.
You're really good when you're the only comedian on the roast.
Hey, I'm gonna leave that one alone because there were, but I'm not gonna say anything.
Well, it's because you take the steps, you prepare, you do material, and
yeah,
you knocked it out for that Ricky roast.
Okay,
but
all right,
yeah,
so
good job,
I think
man.
that's when you were like, all right, and then I got the mean texts and all that stuff. It's all good though.
So on the housing front,
you're still searching.
Well, I kind of a lot of realtors tell you that you need to be looking the month of if you're renting like I am. I'm not buying a house. I don't own anything, but they say anything you find more than a month out might not be there when it's time to rent.
Okay.
So, but I've also kind of wanted to stay in my own neighborhood. But my neighborhood, like, we're the tracks. If you go one way, it gets into a little bit of a bad neighborhood. But if you go a block the other way, it's $1 million houses.
Gotcha.
So some people live on the other side of the tracks. We are the tracks. We're the buffer that keep the rich from the poor. You know, middle class. That's exactly where we live.
Literally middle class.
Literally. But I like my neighborhood centrally located. Like I can be at the Improv in 15 minutes. I can be downtown in 15 minutes. The airport. When I fly out for gigs and stuff, there's a bus that comes a block away from my house. I just hop that. I'm at the airport.
Right.
And more importantly, the kid's school is right there. And my oldest isn't a kid who's good with change, really. Like he gets
nobody is, but
yeah, I think he takes it even more so to like a different level. And what I really like is like there's a whole nice little sidewalks and paths. Like I like the neighborhood we live in for the most part. Like you can go down, walk over this bridge that goes over water. The boats come by. It's a nice little area.
So
and
where we at as finding a new place because you're getting kicked out, right?
Yeah. After
how
10
many days
years,
we're at now?
After 10 years, I think. We gotta be out May 31st at noon. Yeah, and I'm booked that weekend, so I don't want to give up that gig either. So I'm trying to find some place where I can move in the week of, And while I was driving around, I saw a little for rent sign, which, I'm on all the sites like Zillow, Trulia, Hotpads, Renter.com, Homes.com. And this place wasn't listed on any of those. I just saw a little rental sign, and I went and drove by the house, and it's a cute little house. Right now we live in a townhome. This cute little house with a pool. And I called the number, and the woman lives out in Cocoa Beach. And she said, well, there's people in the house right now, but they're having a garage sale because they're moving out. I'll tell them you want to stop by to look at the house. We went there Saturday, and I'll tell you, it's a cool little house. It was built in like the late 70s. So it's got like that whole kind of 70s layout. It's like not a normal house. You go in, you go to the right, and like it's a little drop-down living room area. And then, of course, it has a pool. It's got 2 huge size bedrooms, which is great because, you know, the boys share one. It's got a little den area that will make a great office. It's got a small kitchen.
You got your kids sharing a room?
Yeah.
Man,
yeah.
You got to give them a separate room. Or they end up hating each other.
Well, that's how it worked for me and my older brother. But luckily, right now, they're at the ages where they're best friends.
For now.
Eventually,
You got to give them their own room, right?
Yeah, eventually. But I'm trying to find a place in a month and a half.
That's true.
So, and I'm the only income in the house, so also rent's a factor there. And this place is a little more in rent than I'm paying now, but it also has a pool, which is nice. You know, the kids.
Is that where you're gonna be sleeping at?
I'll probably be sleeping. Yeah,
On a floaty.
That's how me. I walk around the living room going, yes, I think this looks comfortable to sleep in. But what's really cool is I walked in the kitchen and they had this big brass plate on the wall.
Okay.
And I'm like, what's that? And she's like, oh, well, it used to be an intercom system, but the intercom doesn't work anymore. But it's an actual, still a radio. It's got the knobs with the needle that goes up and down the dial.
How old is this house?
It's like built in the late 70s. But you can play from the kitchen. You can play music in every room in the house. I'm like, this is like medieval Alexa. That's what this is. And
intercoms all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's old school.
It's got a nice sized garage and everything else, and I kind of dig it.
Are you in or not?
Well,
you gotta milk the whole family, man.
We did the walk around, and then I called the landlord, and she had me fill out application. I filled out the whole application, everything like that, and then she called me back today because she was having problems getting in touch. They asked you for your 2 most recent landlords, and I've been at my place for like 10 years. And then the landlord before that, I haven't spoke to in over a decade, so I only had an email address, and I've emailed her and haven't got a phone number back yet. But also, the place I live at now, the potential new landlord is like, I've tried calling them like 5 times, and nobody's gotten back to me. I'm like, welcome to my past 10 years, because it's a property management company. So it's not like they own 3 houses. It's like they manage hundreds of places. And it's write an email or leave a message, and it takes forever to get stuff done. Like, remember during the hurricane, I had the tree fall on my car?
Oh, yeah.
And it took a week to get the tree off.
Curse.
Yeah, the Hurley curse. So on the downside, she was like, because I really want to get you guys approved, but I need to get a human being on the line. But on the upside, she was like, is this what you've been dealing with for 10 years? I'm like, yeah. She's like, well, I got to tell you, I'm not that type of landlord. I have like a few properties, and I'm very... So I feel like she wants us in the house.
You better stay with this.
Oh, yeah. I called.
How soon are you going to find out?
Hopefully.
We're in April, end of April.
Yeah, any day, man. I want to get at least a yes or no so I know if I'm moving.
Because I'm not renting you shit in my house.
Yeah, that's okay. But you are going to help me move in, right? You going to help me move some boxes? You going to help me? Come on. It's better than running 3 miles. Come on, I'll buy you a lettuce wrap.
I'm Hispanic, but not that Hispanic.
So I'm hoping, but yeah, man, once I get all set up, hell, maybe, who knows, maybe we'll do the podcast from my place every now and then.
No, we won't.
On location. Yeah, because then we'd have to cart all this.
All this crap. We got to move all this crap.
How we coming on, have you talked to the improv anymore about doing some stuff live from there?
No, man, let's just say I need to get moving on that.
And you also have a position over there now. What, you're in charge of doing what?
The YouTube page.
You're in charge. How's that coming along?
I gotta get things going. Let's just say things haven't been going.
Out of your list of 100 things a week to do,
I've been focusing on this, not that. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Until then, I'll let you guys know when the YouTube page for Orlando Improv is up.
Yeah. Speaking of which, who is at the Improv this weekend?
Margaret Cho. Oh, this past week?
No, that was last week, right?
This week?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Who's there? Oh, we can find that out real quick. And you have absolutely nothing except that kid's part of your DJing this week, right?
I'm kind of happy, man, not doing comedy this month. I've been real
So
busy.
are the audiences. Hey, it's tomorrow it's the Laughs
of
for
a
the
bitch.
Firefighters with Big Tim Murphy, and I'm going to be there hosting the open mic. The 19th is the Pink Collar Comedy Show with Jeff Jones.
Oh, okay.
That's Thursday. And then the 20th through 22nd, looks like we got Bill Bellamy. Bill Bellamy in town.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
What was he on? No, he's on Booty Call. Players Club?
Wasn't the movie Booty Call?
No, he wasn't in Booty Call. Booty Call was Tommy Davidson and Jamie Foxx.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Are you positive?
Yep.
Here's the one I was thinking about. Def Jam's How to Be a Player.
He played
Yeah.
something. How to be.
He was in the Bounce Back Brothers. He was in Any Given Sunday. I love that movie.
Yeah. And
What was he in Any Given Sunday? Was he a
football
player?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then he was famous for MTV.
Uh-huh. You mean Kindergarten Cop 2 isn't what put him over?
I didn't even know there was two.
Yeah, me neither. I'm going to be checking that out. Oh, Love Stinks. I love that movie. That was great. Yeah, so he's been in a ton of stuff. Bill Bellamy will be there. Are you hosting that weekend?
I think so. Just piss everybody off.
I know.
I don't want to do comedy.
Who'd you
Hey,
do that
Kermit,
to
you wanna
last
host?
week?
Jersey.
Jersey.
He was all mad. He hung up the phone on me.
Yeah.
He's like, man, you've been in improv more than I have this whole year. I was like, yeah, it's just I don't want to do it though.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, man, you get more. I was like, what are you doing this week? I hosted the improv. Click. Hello.
You know, I was surprised that last night when I swung by to say hi to you at the other bar after catching, we didn't talk about Jeff Jones' show.
It's a great show. Go catch it. I mean,
Animatronicons.
There it is.
They got one show left. It's the 21st at the Parliament House. Jeff Jones, local comedian, funny as hell, wrote the show. If you're a fan of Disney, go see the show. Basically, it's what happens at night when the animatronics, everybody leaves the park, what they do. And it's got Abraham Lincoln in there. It's got the bear from the old Norway exhibit in there. It's got the Carousel of Progress dude in there. And it's also got Jeff Jones as who is it? Dream Finder? Dream Master?
The Figment Wizard, right?
Yeah, Dream Keeper, right?
I don't know his name.
Figment's friend. Let's Google it. Dream Master.
And you got molested by Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah, the picture's up on my page. Yeah. So, dude, it has so many jokes. It's hysterical. You don't have to be a huge Disney fan to enjoy it, but if you ever worked for the parks or if you are over the top, you're gonna catch a lot of the jokes. And it was Dreamfinder, a jolly wizard-like scientist.
Yeah, Figment probably sucked.
What?
Figment?
Oh, what they got in there now?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, back then I remember it was horrible.
Did you go to Disney a lot when you were a kid?
No, but the time I went, I remember that was the worst one.
Yeah. Did you ever see
The Purple
Captain EO in 3D?
Oh man, Michael Jackson. You know, that's a treat to watch though. You watch it now, you're like, woo.
Ooh, back then, that was cutting edge
That was
technology.
cutting-edge technology. that was like Star Wars.
How weird is it that Michael Jackson, towards the end, was probably the weirdest alien in that whole thing? Yeah.
Yeah, no, man, I wouldn't mind watching it right now, but
Yeah.
man, it was oof.
Yep.
It was rough.
Yep. So, what's your favorite thing at Disney? Do you make it over there a lot?
No.
No.
I'm a Universal Studios guy.
Yeah. What's your favorite thing?
At Universal?
Yeah. You do the horror nights?
Horror nights.
Horror nights. Halloween horror nights.
No, I don't do that stuff. I don't like lines.
Yeah, me neither.
Honestly, we end up going to the park. We walk the whole park. We don't get on one ride, and we leave.
It's more of just a looking
I
around.
was like, why do I have these passes? I don't even get on the ride. I see a line more than 10 minutes, I leave.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's like.
Let's be honest. You're not tall enough to get on anything.
Actually, I am.
Son of a bitch.
I passed the threshold of
You
that.
stand on your tippy toes.
I got platform shoes.
You know what I like doing when I go to theme park? I don't like going with my family.
Nobody does.
Because
Because you don't have to worry about anybody.
I remember my dad taking us, and I remember him never smiling. I'm like, we're at the happiest place on earth. Why isn't Dad happy? Because even back then, it was like $70 tickets, shit like that per family. Plus, you're paying for the hotel and stuff. But when you go as an adult with the family, with kids, it's more about surviving. It's more about getting people to point A to point B. You're not enjoying. I like going with like one friend, and then we go to a ride, and they're like, well, the line's an hour unless you guys want to go single rider. Well, what's single rider? Oh, well, we can't guarantee you'll sit together. but we'll be on in like 15. Done.
And you always end up sitting next to each other.
Yeah,
anyways.
there's always like an empty 2, or you're in the cart right behind them, which is great. I feel the same way about movies. I can't believe people who are like, "Oh, I didn't see that because I couldn't find anyone to go with me." Why?
I go to
Why do
movies
you
by
need
myself.
someone? I go by myself. I don't like sitting next to people. I don't like, I hate people who talk like, what do you think's gonna... Dude, I'm watching the same fucking movie the first time. Same as you. Shut up.
That's what
Pay
I'm doing
attention.
this Saturday and Sunday, man.
Can I
Looking
come?
forward to it. You want to go?
Can I come?
I'm going to watch Player One. I'm going to watch Quiet Place.
Player One was good.
I'm going to watch Pacific Rim 2.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one more I'm going to watch.
You spend the whole day just moving?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know you sneak into cons. Are you the guy
I
who's
buy
going to pay one ticket?
Yep.
Have you ever been caught? I always
No,
feel like you're going to
it's
get caught.
AMC at the West Oaks Mall. It's a $4 ticket. They don't care.
Okay, because a lot of movie theaters now have like the assigned seat thing.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
No, not AMC.
No.
Not the West Oaks Mall.
Like a lot of times now you go to the movie theater and if you just walk up to get a ticket, they're like, they pull up the screen. They go, where do you want to sit? And you'll see all the center stuff
that
is already
happened to me.
Which I kind of like, but I kind of don't like. It's like I like the fact that you don't have to worry. Like you can walk in literally when the movie's starting. There's your seat. But what I hate is those charts. The theaters are all so different that when you look on the chart, you're like, oh, this is right in the middle. And then you get to the theater, walk in the actual theater, and you're one of those seats that's up front or you're way in the back.
Oh.
But I do like those theaters now that have like the full-on reclining seats and stuff. Because even if someone's right in front of you, right to your left, you're still like comfortable,
I guess I don't have that luxury at the West Oaks Mall.
Yeah, you take your life in your own hands when you go see a movie at the West
Nothing
Oaks
like
Mall.
sticky seats to keep you comfortable.
But on the bright side, you're the only one there. So
it is wonderful.
Yeah. I think the last movie I saw at the West Oaks Mall was Sleepy Hollow.
Wow, that was a long time ago.
We're talking wow. When was that? 99, 2000,
2001, I want to say.
Yeah. Oh well, I think we went way past.
Way over time.
What are we at?
We're over an hour, and Sanchez is gonna be so pissed off. He's gonna be so happy editing this. Oh, jeez, I unplugged my headphones.
Yeah, while we're at it, check out the Art of Sanchez on Instagram, right?
Yeah, sketch art of Sanchez.
Sketch art of Sanchez. Dude, he put up some awesome Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff today.
Oh, yeah.
That guy's just ridiculous.
Yep. And
I think him and Adam Avitable are probably my two favorite, Adam Avitable? Or, I'm sorry, not Adam Avitable. Adam Milicevic.
Oh, my gosh.
I only know two Adams. Yeah. I think Adam.
Dude, I'm looking at you like.
Yeah, you looked at me confused. I'm like, dude, you don't know Adam? Oh, no, wrong Adam. So yeah, Adam Milicevic. Have you seen his artwork? Yeah. Him, and.
I heard of the other Adam's artwork too.
him and Sanchez. Probably just my dude. When I'm bored, I just pull up their sites and look at their art. It's just amazing.
Oh man, yeah. Sanchez is a beast. I didn't look at Adam's stuff, but Sanchez is a beast.
Yeah, and Adam, what was cool is he start out local comic, right? But then he's also designed the cues. He works in theme parks designing
for Face Off or whatever.
Well, he started out like at Universal. He designed the cues for Transformers here at Universal Studios. Then he went to Universal Japan, designed whole like zombie houses and everything. And then he decided he wanted to be on Facebook. So like in 1 year, he learned how to do makeup so he could be on Face Off. Went on Face Off, did great, and. Yeah, his artwork is just amazing, dude. It's so great. I'm jealous.
Well, Sanchez can look him up while he's editing this hour-long podcast.
Yeah.
We went over.
Well, I'm sorry, Sanchez. It takes me an hour to get anything worth having with this kid. So, sorry. All he wants to do is talk about memories he doesn't have.
Yeah, and poop, which we didn't cover today.
All right. Well, I get what you're saying, man. We got to get out of here, and that's fine. Like I said, tomorrow night, I'll be at the Orlando Improv hosting the open mic. Thursday night, we're doing the Abbey Theater Parkland benefit.
I just realized you're promoting something that is not going to be up to. Oh, yeah, it's going to be up. It'll be up. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're shooting for now to get more current.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, that's it. And then, if you really want to, swing by Monkey Joe's and catch Kermit DJing for a bunch of 8-year-olds Saturday night. Thong, 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 thong. So until next time, did you have anything else?
Nope.
All right.
Not at all.
That's it.
Till next time.
Till next time.
See you guys later.